Damn. I forgot that I had this Apple cord down here from earlier today, bro, when I was working. Some crazy shit. Anyway, greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man Probably presents Comic Book Talk with Friends. This is Monday, so I am so glad to have everybody here. It's going to be a good one tonight. Hope everybody's doing good. On your way in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 4,000 subscribers, so make sure that you come through prepared and you show your boys some love and some support. But anyway, yes, it's going to be a great one tonight. We got a lot of things that we are going to actually talk about. We got a dope artist pick this week. We're going to talk about Secret Invasions, definitely. Also, we are going to talk about, now, here's the thing. We got to talk about this with caution, but I pretty much know that Vinny so far probably already seen this shit because it's been everywhere.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about it. Yeah, it was unavoidable. We're going to talk about it, but I want to talk about it from a totally different perspective because is too much? Is it too much too soon? Like, is it a lot going on in this thing, or is it something that's going to all come together in the end? We'll talk about that. You know, just got my reservations about it, some slight reservations about it, but we will have a conversation about that, and among other things. But yeah, we're going to dive right in. But of course, I can't do it without the crew. At least two of the members. Jason will probably be in here a little bit later on. But what's going on, man? How y'all guys doing tonight, man? Y'all good? Good morning.
Salutations, brothers.
Yeah, man. Good to have y'all here this evening. Butt naked. What's going on with you, bro?
Back from vacation. Yeah, I was on vacation for a week, so that was really nice. Got to hang out by the pool, take the kids to the boardwalk, catch up with my best friend down in Jersey. Cook and eat a lot of good food, drink a lot of booze. Yeah, it was a good time, and it was nice to have like downtime to relax. Where I was just like, I've read a lot. Like I went through like hardcovers, like collected editions of like a bunch of different things, and like trade paperbacks and stuff. I just brought like a dozen of them down with me, and was able to just catch up on a lot of reading, you know, by the pool, just really relaxing. So that was great. And got home at the end of last week, had some stuff to do over the weekend, and then I went to see Dial of Destiny this morning, actually. So I went to see Indy.
I definitely want to know you. I thought it was good, bro. I would like to know you.
I was super excited going in. I was very meh on the first half of the movie, and then I really got into the second half of the movie.
Yeah.
There were just some structural and pacing things, and then just some story things. Like it was just, I didn't hate the first half. I was just kind of like, oh man, I'm not loving it, and that was kind of hitting me hard because I wanted to love it. The second half, even though there were some kind of plot things that I was kind of like on, the second half picked up. Like basically once they get into the tomb, in the caves, and they're finding that tomb, like that's when it really felt like treasure hunting, adventure, Indiana Jones kind of stuff from that point on. So the second half of the movie, I really dug. Overall, it was a good experience. I'm where I think a lot of people are, and better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not as good as the original trilogy, but I never expected it to be as good as the original trilogy. And if you go in expecting that, I feel like you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. But yeah, I thought that it was really good. I mean, Harrison Ford's definitely showing his age, in this movie. Only thing is, I do think Mads Mikkelsen could have played a much more sinister, a much cooler villain than his character was written in the movie. He wasn't as like menacing as some of the guys, the way I was hoping he would be. But like I said, I still enjoyed the movie. It's definitely worth seeing. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't this abysmal thing that everybody was talking about. I loved it.
No.
For what it was. I even love Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character in this film. A lot of people didn't.
Yeah, I didn't vibe with her character, but it wasn't her performance. I had some qualms with the way the character was written, but it wasn't anything against her or her performance. Because, like I said, in the second half of the movie, I think she did a really good job, but there were also some things that didn't feel quite earned. Like she performed it well in the second half, but I was like, but that doesn't really jive with what was the character was doing earlier on. So that was just a writing thing for me. But yeah, I didn't have any problems with her in the movie. I thought she was fine.
Yeah, it was definitely not for everybody, but
Right.
again, it's nothing that I expected from someone who's almost 81 years old. So I'm like, it is what it is. But regardless, I think it was good. V, what's going on with you, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh man, good to be here. I had a pretty busy weekend. Just catching up. I pretty much worked this weekend. Had a little bit of free time thanks to weather. Yesterday, I should probably been working yesterday too, but just getting through what I like to call the gauntlet because it's just such a compacted section of the season where I have a lot of big jobs to get through, and then when I get on the other side of it, I'll have a few weeks to go, and then August I get to run away for a little bit too. So I'm looking forward to getting through the thick of the mud of this part of the season and getting some my weekends back and some free time back because I got a lot of reading to catch up on, a lot of a lot of projects, a lot of art projects I want to dive back into. But so I've just been swamped, busy with work. But other than that, man, good man, just rocking and rolling on getting through that stuff so I can get to the fun stuff. Got to work hard so you can play hard, right?
Hell yeah, bro. And did you find out whether or not you got a table yet, bro?
Nah, I'm just gonna be going as a fan. There's just didn't make it for this season, but I'll be at we'll have the Harrisburg one in August, and I'm gonna line up some other stuff. Hopefully by the end of the month for the back half of the year and beginning of 24. So I'll be you know updating you on whatever going with New York with that next rollover for next season. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely,
man.
bro. Definitely, bro. Well, hell, like I said, it's always worth a try, and again, I know you'll probably be there next year, so it is what it
Yeah,
is.
man.
And thank you guys, everybody out there, for being here with us this evening. It's going to be an incredible one. Let me address the chat real quick and see who we got in here. We got Amber May. She's in the building. She says, "Hey, everyone. Skywalker. She was scummy, but she was supposed to be kind of like a younger India at times. Oh, I like. Thank you for that oath. We got Blazing Asian in the building. Thank you for being here as always. Um, who else do we have out there? We got let me see here. Tijuana Mike, aka King Churro, is in the building. Thank you for being here, man. We got CM Brock in the building. Thank you for being here, my bro. Philip the Fool is here with us. We got Yomo in the building. Thank you for being here. We got Renz Talentino is in the
My
building.
man
Thank you for
Rams.
being here, my guy. And we got SpongeBob Square Balls is in the building. We got Aaron Collects is in the building. So thank you for being here with us. So I kind of want to mix it up a bit. I'm not gonna go with the artist first, bro. We always go with the artist first. So I want to kind of mix it up and do something totally different. I want to lead into this one here because I think this deserves to be talked about first. And with everything that's going on right now, everything that we know so far, and everything that I felt as though they should have kept to themselves, there's a lot that should be presented, should be talked about. First off, and I'm gonna bring this up really quick here. um
Yeah,
Aesthetically, we're gonna look at this because I just want to see. Because
yeah, I got a lot to say.
okay,
Man,
so
man, man.
all right, so here, okay, so we know that Hugh Jackman was going to be in this film, right?
Yep.
um and everybody was wondering what was going to be the suit of choice, if he was going to suit up, if he was going to actually wear just more civilian clothing. And from what we see so far, he's going back to the traditional yellow and blue. Deadpool suit, of course, we see the upgrade on that, more comic accurate. This is the first time we ever get a chance to see Hugh Jackman in this suit. Now, mind you, this is a still. I don't know how it's going to actually look on camera, how it's going to translate. So I'm just kind of waiting. But so far, I'm just like, I know it's exciting for most people, but for me, it's like, I don't know. But Vinny, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Such a foolish decision, in my opinion. Now, let me preface this with, you know how I feel about Wolverine and the height issue, and that's not what this is about. Hugh Jackman has spent a long time as Wolverine, and he's been an amazing Wolverine. But we've went 20 years with no suit, and you know, no Wolverine suit. He's just been the wife beaterine, just beater in jeans and no suit, and now you're going to go into you know Marvel having the X-Men franchise back, and there's going to be very likely a new Wolverine actor, and no matter who that is, the whole world is going to bitch and
Mm-hmm.
moan and
Mm-hmm.
cry, and there's going to be tons of people saying, why can't Hugh Jackman just keep the part? And you know what would have shut everybody the fuck up? Showing the new actor in the costume, and everybody been like, "Oh, never mind, we good. We're gonna get the costume. All right, cool." Now, all the people who where the Hugh Jackman stands, now they will never shut the fuck up because that
Mm-hmm.
looks amazing, and everyone will just say, "Man, we could have had that in the new X-Men movies, and now we have some new kid who probably is an unknown, and everyone's gonna shit on it." And that could have been their "oh my god" moment, to have
Mm-hmm.
that new actor put his stamp on being Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
With, let's be real, it's very unlikely that they'll really find a 5'3", 5'5", even 5'7" actor to
Yeah,
play it.
exactly.
But you could put the stamp on him being the new Wolverine by him wearing the suit. And
Yeah.
now, even if he does wear a suit, it's like, all right, we already seen it with Hugh Jackman. Now, don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong, it still will be cool, and hopefully they even maybe switch it up and do the brown and orange suit, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is your holy shit moment that they could have used to put over the new blood. That's
Yeah.
what they should have saved it for. Because
Yeah.
people are going to be excited about Hugh Jackman being in this movie, even if he's just in his regular street clothes. They don't need him in the suit for this to be, oh wow, because he hung it up. He was retired. Just him being
Yeah.
in this at all is a win. So
Yeah.
why spoil that? And now I get it. We've all wanted to see him in
Mm-hmm.
this suit for forever, and
Yeah.
it's cool that we'll get that. And if there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to be future X-Men movies like right around the corner, then hell yeah, let's get that send off. But
Yeah.
we're getting new X-Men movies, and they could have saved that. Let's fix this. Let's seal the deal. Let's bring in a new talent and show like that we're gonna do X-Men movies the way that they are in the comics and give everybody their suits and shit. They had that opportunity. And then to
Yeah.
your point and many other people's point about this, um, yo, except for some fart jokes, what's left to watch of this fucking movie? They're showing us everything. Every single cameo is like, I don't need to know every single cameo before the film. Now maybe they were going to be filming some stuff outside where there's going to be stuff leaked and they just wanted to get ahead of it, and that's fine. But when you release it, you know, on Ryan Reynolds' IG and make it a promo shot as opposed to just, hey, not everybody's on the dirt sheets and on the the websites and stuff looking at leaked film footage. So not everybody's going to see stuff if somebody leaks it. But when you put it out as promo footage, basically, I don't know. Like, I'm going to. I don't know if people going into this movie are going to really have all that much new to see, and I don't know. I just really wish they would have saved the suit for the new generation. I feel like that would have been a great way to change the guard. And changing of the guard with the suit would have been, I think, a big win for them to, put their stamp on the new actor. That's not to
Yeah.
say that it won't be awesome to see Hugh Jackman in the suit. I just feel like it was a missed opportunity because seeing him in this movie for one last run would have been
One
cool either
last go
way.
around. Yeah.
I do like the suit. It's more of a
Yeah.
Weird and Cassidy Astonishing X-Men look than the typical yellow with the sleeves and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure whatever they have him doing in here will be amazing. Like he's
Mhm.
not just I'm sure
Yeah.
they're gonna do some cool stuff with him. I'm sure there's gonna be cool moments. I would love to see them save the suit since they hadn't done it for
For the
the new.
MCU or the new
I think that
Wolverine.
just would have made sense from a business standpoint.
And I me myself, honestly, and I hate to be this person, but I just didn't want to see the suit right now. Anyway, I thought that they should have just waited. If they were going to
Yeah,
show him in the suit, just wait and not give it to us now. I think with the way things are in Hollywood right now, they want to rush. There's certain things that they want to kind of gauge the interest and keep people interested in
yeah,
this. So this is why we see it. So I get it. I completely understand. No qualms against that. But I do agree. And my only thing is, and that was my point, showing this, us seeing this. Also, we're going to talk about Jennifer Garner as well, Ben Affleck, what they've been saying about that. But is it too much too soon? Things like this that could potentially overshadow what is to come. Now, here's the thing. I know Kevin Feige's smart. He's smart. He's a smart individual. I know that there is a plan. And without seeing this film, I don't want to draw any type of judgment. I know it's going to be dope. It's DeadPool. It's going to be a dope film. It's going to be an enjoyable ride. It will make $1 billion. I already know that. But with that basically being said, is it too much going on that can potentially take away from the future? That's just my thoughts, and I wanted to kind of throw this out there. Butt naked, what did you think about this, bro?
Well, I'm of a different mind in that I'm glad they didn't wait. I'm glad they didn't wait to do the suit with like a new actor and a new version of Wolverine in the MCU. For the simple fact that goddamn Hugh Jackman has earned it, man. Let him be fucking Wolverine one last time. And like it was teased, and even back in his in the Wolverine, the first one that James Mangold did before Logan, the deleted scene that actually had the brown and orange, or and Hugh Jackman has wanted to do the classic look and has wanted to be in an Avengers movie. And this is the closest he's getting. And I think he's earned it. And so I'm glad to see him getting to do this suit. And if you look at it, it's very much in line with the style of suit that Deadpool rocks in these movies. So we could still get a same color scheme, but a completely different take on the blue and yellow. Maybe that's even more comic book classic accurate when we get another version of Wolverine coming. Maybe it's or maybe it's the brown suit. So although I think it would have been kind of funny given the brown pants joke that they made in this if they had him use the brown suit in this one. But yeah, I love seeing Hugh Jackman in this suit. It looks great. My only gripe about the suit is why the sleeves, man. He's got the guns. Like let him let those puppies out. So, but that's whatever. I still love it.
Mhm.
Like, people in the chat said I'll buy the ever living shit out of that hot toy, man. I as far I would have really liked, rather than it be revealed on Ryan Reynolds' IG story, for it to have been like a teaser, like a teaser trailer or something, even if it was like a 15-second thing, and all of a sudden you just kind of the camera pans and all of a sudden you just see, oh shit, he's in the yellow, like it goes up his arm and the blue and the snick comes out and you see him in like the yellow suit. That would have gotten my blood pumping more. I would have liked that kind of moment of like, oh shit, rather than it just be leaked on the internet because of his Instagram stories. But I also get, because there was another image that leaked like a couple of days before, that I wasn't sure if it was real because it was a badly taken photo, so it didn't look like Hugh Jackman's face. So I was like, is this like some fan bullshit that somebody made? But I think they are basically, trying to,
get out
stay ahead
of
of the stuff that it's like when you're filming outdoors, you're going to get people snapping pictures. So why not control that and use that hype to your advantage? And I think that's what's happening here. They can go too much. You don't want like every cameo and every cool moment spoiled before the movie comes out. So it's a balancing act. Once we've seen the movie, then we know, and we'll be able to kind of look at how much of it was kept fresh and was kept for the theater going experience versus how much did we already know beforehand, and how did that impact the experience. That's something that we'll know, after we see this movie in person. But yeah, you definitely want to keep a lid on certain things, and we did get a lot, with this and with Garner and Affleck and stuff. So I don't know. We're not going to be able to really fully gauge how much they told us and was it too much until we actually see the movie.
Yeah.
Because we could have a ton of stuff and be like, oh my God, why we know way too much. And then you go into the movie and you realize that you knew a fraction of it and you have the best experience and you're just, amazing. Or you look back and be like, oh man, that was a really cool entry in the movie. I wish I didn't know it was coming. So we'll see. But I like the suit. Huge, what I really want, and maybe this is what they're really trying to hold for a teaser trailer or the actual film itself. I want to see the cowl. I really, really hope that he rocks the cowl and not just the suit in this movie, because that, I want to see the cowl. I'd love to see, with the whited out eyes. I want that old school comic book. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I'm excited for it. And they're trying to maintain the hype because this is the only movie that wasn't delayed. This was the movie that was actually pushed up 6 months for its release. And so I think that that's something that, we want to, we're going to enjoy this one and realize that with the writer's strike and pretty much all but guaranteed now that the actors are going to strike very shortly, I think it's going to be an even longer wait for mutants and for X-Men to make their debut in the MCU now. So I think we're going to have plenty of separation between what Hugh Jackman does in this movie and whatever the next iteration of Wolverine we might see is. So,
Yeah. And again, bro, like, I mean, I know the movie's going to be super dope. That's just the thing. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is a fanboy himself. Hugh Jackman enjoys playing his character. There's rumors of so many other people being in it. It's just a wait and see type of situation. But I think here's the thing, because I know that everybody's talking about Daredevil kills the Fox universe type of situation, and I get that because it's a take on Deadpool. It's a take on what happened in the comics and stuff like that. Okay, we know that, but I don't want this to be that thing that they gravitate to and they utilize just to kind of move us forward. You feel me? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But Jedi Kid in the building. What's going on with you, brother? I love the t-shirt that you got on, brother. How you doing, man? I know you sitting back pimping. As always, pop your t-shirt. What's going on with you?
Crap. I'm so sorry. I thought we wasn't doing it. Like, oh shit, 9:45.
Yeah.
Like, let me get on. But I had to get on with you guys, man. Talk about this stuff, man. I saw this suit, man. I said, oh my God, they finally did it. They finally did it, but it should be sleeveless, man. I should get them sleeves off somehow
Mm-hmm.
and have his arms out, man. But I'm excited. This is going to be Deadpool. All the Deadpool movies have been good so far, so I know this is going to be another blockbuster for him, especially bringing back Hugh Jackman. Like, this is going to be dope, man. And I'm hearing about TVA in this too. Some TVA stuff in this too.
Well, he's supposed to. So
Deadpool.
I don't know. The thing is, it's like I've been reading certain things, but I'd rather just go in and just say, you know what, whatever happens is going to happen. Just let it be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm excited.
but I'm definitely excited for it. I guess it was just one of those things. Like, I mean, because and again, like there's like, so how now? This was some funny shit because Brendan called me while I was working with this piece, and I saw the caption. I was working and I saw this online, and I was like, all right, damn, what's going on with this? So then I posted it, and Brendan was like, well, if you answered the damn phone, then you would know what's going on.
You know, Brendan been finding out stuff.
Yeah, so this is what, again, Jennifer Gardner and Ben Affleck supposed to be back. She's back as Elektra. Now, she hasn't made a statement yet, but everybody else is saying she is.
She's
so
back,
I'm just waiting to see. Hollywood, reporter basically had this out. Okay, whatever it is, but what y'all think, man?
I'm glad, bro. I missed her as Elektra, man. I think she got a good enough stint in that movie. I liked the Daredevil movie when she was in it. Evan Natrios was dope, but I
Mhm.
think she needed more. Even with her own movie, like, they didn't do Electra right at all in that one. But her in Daredevil was fucking awesome. I loved her in the Daredevil movie, but I want to see her get another swing at it. I
Mhm.
mean, she's dope, man. She
And
works out. She knows how
yeah,
to use them sides for real. Like, she's dope.
well, and see the thing, and that's the thing, bro, because there have been videos, and like even since they made this announcement, people were posting videos of her working out in the
Hmm.
gym and
Hmm.
just doing certain things. I don't know if she's been working out behind the scene, and I don't. The thing is, and with that being said, her role may not even be that big at all. You know what I mean? It
She's
might
gonna
be,
be in it for like one scene. It's not
yeah,
gonna be
Probably.
extended. Yeah.
yeah,
Probably.
so definitely probably won't be like a super extended scene, whatever. But for what it's
You
worth,
think
I
it'll be
mean,
her and Ben together?
Yep.
probably.
That's what I think.
Probably, which would probably be funny, just to
Hmm.
kind of see that. And
Hmm.
as much as Ryan Reynolds would probably want to poke fun at that shit, he can't because of the writing strike.
Yeah.
But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that
Yeah.
would definitely, be interesting, unless it was already written in
Oh,
and we
I think
just
it was
didn't know.
already in there. Yeah.
Yeah, if
I
it was,
think I think he's had this planned for a while.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so that would be definitely interesting to see how they do it. But I mean, again, I think it's just going to be his take on the multiverse, and
I
I
just
think it
smell the
might even
hot
be
toys
done
coming.
right. Yeah, what'd you say?
I smell all the hot toys coming. I
What
can't wait.
that's
That
what Butt Naked was saying.
that's what I
Hmm.
said.
But
Hmm.
yeah. So thoughts, man. Like, what's thoughts? Some
I'll go
more
last.
thoughts.
You guys.
What about you, Vinny? What's your what's your thought?
I couldn't be not to hate, but I couldn't be less excited. Uh,
Mhm.
she was one of the worst parts of the original movie. I think the seesaw fight was
That
one
was
of the most.
hilarious, man. Come
It
on,
was
bro.
hilarious, but it wasn't supposed to be. Uh,
I know, I know, I
it
know.
was one of the. I remember walking out of theaters thinking like that movie probably could have been exponentially better without that scene, and
Coolio
I
was in
always
it.
thought it was ridiculous the casting of Elektra being Jennifer Garner. Like she's supposed to be Greek, and she just never looked the part, never felt the part, and
Hmm.
and then they made and then she had her own movie, and her movie was just garbage. It was
Hmm.
really 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 bad, and
Hmm.
and then they make a big announcement that she's going to be in the new Deadpool movie, it was like this. The crowd goes, huh? I was just, not ever really excited about her as a Elektra, and I love the actress. She was amazing in Alias and a bunch of other stuff she's done. So
Hmm.
it's nothing against Jennifer Garner personally. I just
Hmm.
never really bought her as Elektra, and never really felt any attachment to the character.
Hmm.
And I don't know. It's again like not today. I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan per se in the first place. So I've seen the first movies in theaters, and I never really rewatched them or go back to them as like these great comic book film experiences. So them throwing a whole bunch of stuff at the wall in this and seeing what sticks you know is fine. It is what it is, but there's going to be stuff that I'm excited to see in it, like and there's going to be stuff like Electra that it's going to be just there, and
Hmm.
we have no idea how big a part she's going to play. Brendan's probably right. It's probably just going to be a quick thing. This is probably going to be a lot of a lot of cameos that could be just like gags and not
Hmm.
play a major part in the story at all. It's just really kind of frustrating that we can't just enjoy them organically. It has to be hyped up as promotion where you don't know really the context. So you kind of have no idea what's going on with this film going into it. So you don't know how big a part everything is going to play. And there's instances where they give away too much and it works out. Like I feel like they kind of gave away too much with Doctor Strange, but I feel like it kind of worked out because it made sense once you've seen it. And then there's films like Superman vs. Batman where they gave away every single cameo, and then it was a mess. And you wish that you at least had those cool moments, action wise, to view in the theater as opposed to like there was you were left with nothing because they spoiled all the good shit, and then the movie wasn't good. So
Hmm.
yeah, like I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people enjoy it. I'm happy for them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I again, this is me stating again that I know it's going to be a good film, but I'm just like,
I
is
don't.
there too much more too soon? Is it too much too soon with everything that's going on with this?
Mhm.
But I understand it. Part of me is just like a little reluctant, but I still understand it. It's Deadpool, and I would expect shit. I wouldn't even be surprised if, what is it? What's his name? Captain America,
Chris
Chris
Oh,
Evans.
Evans.
Chris
Chris
Evans.
Evans, if he shows
Mhm.
up as the Human Torch. I wouldn't be surprised if he did,
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
quite honest, because it's quite possible
That'd
how
be
they
cool
may
though.
deal with the multiverse.
Yep.
Mhm.
If it's done well and it serves the story, I'll
Mhm.
accept it. Um, but again, I just want to see how it's done. My only gripe about this movie that I'm very, 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 very disappointed about is the simple fact that Zazie Beetz won't be in this film, bro. And that's it. But
Oh,
anyway,
Domino was gone completely.
Yeah.
she's
She's
not going to
gone.
be in the film, bro.
Yeah.
That was as of like when she did an interview. Now I think
Wow.
she was probably telling the truth, but again, I mean, Toby and Andrew swore up and down, we are nowhere near this movie, and then
Mhm.
they were both in that fucking movie. So
I don't know. It doesn't look like this film is really trying to like uh,
yeah, I don't
tell you
think
people
that's
who aren't going to
necessarily
be
the
in it.
case,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true,
They
true.
probably
who
would have had
knows?
a promo poster of her a year ago if she was even
Yeah,
gonna, might be in it.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, we'll just have to see. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing Jessica Alba as the Invisible Woman again because
Oh
she was
yeah,
she was gorgeous
yeah,
as the
yeah, yeah,
character. So I
yeah,
wouldn't mind
yeah.
that. But
There's
if they don't, it's cool. But
You know what's silly about this though
what's
is
up?
one of the reasons why Deadpool kind of rubs me the wrong way in these films a little bit is if they always feel like it's in the comic books, it's Deadpool is breaks the fourth wall to comic book fans, and it's funny and it's
Mhm.
interesting and it's clever, and then when I part of me always feels like when they do that in the films, it's like making fun of comic book readers for non-comic book fans. I always feel like the movie is not really for comic book fans. It's for casual audiences to show how silly comic books are. It feels like a backhanded, like it feels like they'd be funny on the side sometimes with these films. It always just seems like that. Like it's not really for us. It's for people to like make fun. It's like to make fun of comic books and comic book films, in a way, and that's what it's doing.
Oh yeah, I can
But
see
like
that,
that's
but
how it feels. You know what I
I
mean?
don't feel like they were making
I
fun
don't
of
think that.
comics or comic fans so much as they were
Yeah,
making fun of the clusterfuck that was what Fox made
what
Mhm.
Fox
for
did.
comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't think they were I don't think
There
it
are
was
specific,
like
yes, there are specific instances like that. But I felt the same way when watching like She-Hulk, where I didn't feel like,
Yeah.
where I felt like it was like, hey guys, isn't your boyfriend who likes this shit dumb?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not really for the comic fans. It's for people who are just average viewers who think that all this shit is dumb. And like, look, it's funny. Isn't all this silly? That's how it
Mhm.
always
Well, it's
feels.
like in
I think that was
She-Hulk.
more true for She-Hulk than it
Yeah,
is for
She-Hulk.
Deadpool.
And that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it was funny was when people were criticizing She-Hulk, people would be like, "Yeah, but y'all think it's hilarious when Deadpool does it," and I would always be like, "No, I don't think it's funny when Deadpool does it either. Really,
Mm-hmm.
like it's funny in a little bit, but it's the whole fucking movie. Like it's just nonstop jokes, and I get it. That's the stick, but it's
Yeah,
just
but
not always for me. It always
the,
is just a bit much.
the
So
Yeah.
She-Hulk show was what really was going after comic book readers,
yeah,
like
and
people
I
that
feel
know the
like
comic book. Like they were really
yeah, I
messing with
just
us
get
big
that
time.
vibe sometimes too. Not as
Mm-hmm.
bad as She-Hulk, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
though, but with Deadpool, I think that Ryan Reynolds he honors the fans more so because he knows what the fans want.
He knows the
Mhm.
character.
And this is why we're getting Wolverine back because he knows
Mm-hmm.
that fans wanted to basically have Wolverine and Deadpool together because they have been
Together.
selling this thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and
So I,
he's
I think that he's really, really caring more so about the fans and knowing that this is going to be a rated R film, that they're going to let him go ahead and it will be a rated R film. I mean, they're allowing him to play in his wheelhouse, but at the same time, I think that because even from the first Deadpool to the second Deadpool, he did honor the fans, and it was what we wanted from that particular character based on the abysmal version that we actually got in that Wolverine film.
Yeah.
So him giving us this version back, it just meant so much. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited about it thus far, but I'm just again, and it's okay to be that way. I'm just a little bit nervous about it being congested. I hope, because
I
the thing
totally
is,
get that.
it's like, yo, as much as I am a super fan of Multiverse of Madness, and other people don't like it, I love the fucking film. I love it to death. I watch it at least once every week. That's how much I love it, bro. But again, it was opportunities sort of blown with the Illuminati, or ways that they could have actually done it. And yes, they gave us what we wanted at that point, but
And now we're gonna have a film making fun of the multiverses.
yeah. Yep. So here now, and I'm like, well, and again, maybe, but maybe not, because here's the thing: this is what Deadpool does, and what he does, and I think that this is the opportunity going forward, using this film to maybe course correct a few things in the right way. I think there's a possibility to do so. We just got to kind of wait and see. But my only fear is that is it too congested? I don't want it to be too congested and take away from the story. I just don't want them to be too fan servicey. But
I don't think.
Well, in that the spirit of Deadpool books anyway, they're always congested with a bunch of different shit.
It's always he's always doing different shit. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah. But with this movie,
go ahead, Butt Naked.
For me,
wait. Can I introduce you real quick?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's sitting ass naked on his seat. My man, the one and only, making his return to Comic Book Talk with Friends after a week's hiatus. The one and only, Butt Naked.
Show him some love.
Show him some love, please.
Appreciate
Mr. Stay Northern Hemisphere.
So for this movie, honestly, when I heard everything about Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck, a couple of things come to mind. I love Jennifer Garner as Elektra. All right. And I always said from back in the day, and this is why I was not worried at all. And I was actually excited when a lot of people were hesitant when they cast Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I was like, there are such similarities in the mindset and in the tone of Daredevil and of Batman. And I knew that he would. I thought he was perfect for Daredevil back in the day. And that movie, if you look at it, was perfectly cast. It just was not written and directed to the same level. Affleck, Garner. I mean, especially when we see what Colin Farrell has done later in his career, and even with the Penguin right now, he was perfect for Bullseye. All right, Michael Clark Duncan was an inspired choice for Kingpin.
Yeah.
All right, Jon Favreau is Foggy. All of those things are, and obviously Coolio, rest in peace, along with Michael Clark.
Coolio, yes sir.
That movie was cast very, very well. It just they didn't execute on that. But if you look at Jennifer Garner, you look at Alias back in the day, you look at The Kingdom, all right, the Peter Berg movie she did with Jamie Foxx back in the day, and you look at Peppermint, all right. If you haven't seen that, she's badass in that. That's on Netflix right now, actually. She can do serious physical acting, and she can handle the size, and she looks the part. I know, yes, is she Greek? No. She looks just as Greek as my youngest kid's first grade teacher, all right? And her name is Giacomis. I can't even pronounce her first and middle names. It's crazy. She is fucking Greek, okay? Like speaks Greek, everything, okay? She just doesn't, you don't look at her and like, oh, you're Greek. Okay,
Yeah.
like, you know, the actress Elodie Young who played Elektra on Netflix. She's not Greek, so
Mm-mm.
that's I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that at all. I think she absolutely can look the part, and you also look at the art historically of how Elektra has. Frank Miller didn't draw her Mediterranean looking.
No.
Like, you know, she had the same skin tone as Matt Murdock. She had, you
Mhm.
know, so it's not like she all of a sudden drastically looks different than, you know, than in the comics. So I think she's perfectly fine for the role. I loved the casting. Again, they just didn't live up to it in the execution of the film because they were in an era where they were trying to balance camp with modern filmmaking, and they just didn't get the balance right, and that happens.
Yeah.
If that movie was made with that cast today by today's filmmaking standards and
It'll kill
MCU and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and with them all in their prime, that movie would kill. It would be a home run.
Yeah.
It'll kill
So
Yep.
also like while it was done again, they leaned into the camp. They didn't get it right, the tone. That park scene with the seesaw and stuff, that was taken right out
Yeah.
of the comics. It just wasn't Elektra. It
just
was
wasn't done.
Echo.
Yeah.
It
Echo.
was an early meeting of Echo and Daredevil in Volume 2 of Daredevil, the Kevin Smith's Guardian Devil arc.
Yeah.
And that was taken straight out of it. Did they execute it perfectly? No, not at all. But it wasn't like they created it out of thin air and it was just like that was taken from the comics. They just didn't take it well. So I think that it was just bad timing as far as the era when that movie was made. And I think that because Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, I think, are perfect for those roles, I'm very happy to see them get to take one more crack just for one scene, because I expect that's all it's going to be. It's going to be like one scene.
Yeah.
Right. I am thrilled that they get the chance to put those suits on one more time and go out and have fun in the role. It very well could be Deadpool killing them both, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they made a parody of that park seesaw scene in the Deadpool movie, making fun of the way they did it the first time around.
That'd be awesome.
It's possible too. But I'm super excited to see them in this movie. I think it's going to be fun. And I said it to you, Lael. This movie, I think, is going to have one of the largest lines of Hot Toys coming out of it.
Oh, God, I can't wait. I can't wait.
You know, I mean, if they have Professor X in there, you know we're getting a Professor X Hot Toy. And this, I'm telling you, a Ben Affleck Daredevil, especially with all the hype around Daredevil right now coming into the MCU with Charlie Cox. All right, Daredevil hype is really peaking. This would be a good opportunity. It's not going to be like the same, you know, production run as like a die-cast Iron Man that they produced millions of, but maybe it's like more along the lower end, like a Toy Fair exclusive kind of thing. But we get Ben Affleck Daredevil and Jennifer Garner Elektra as limited run, just limited small production run Hot Toys. Yeah. And those, as they keep those runs relatively low, those will sell out because those will be rare collectibles because they don't exist now and they're never going to get made again. It'll be a one-off for hardcore fans. And just like people, you know, will say, oh, that gray and blue, Christian Bale Batman, nobody wants that. That's not going to sell.
That's
sold
not true.
out. I got one coming.
I got one coming.
Like, people hated on it, but there are enough people that liked it that the production run sold out. So there's no
did not get it.
The same thing with this, though. There's no reason why they couldn't do a small production run and sell that fucker out. And I guarantee you when that happens, then those figures will be very pricey on the secondary market. But I won't have to worry about that because I'll already own 2 of each because that's how many I'd buy.
I want that Wolverine costume, bro. I have every Wolverine made.
I gotta see how it's gonna look on screen because I'm sorry. I am the only person that is not really too sold on it right now because I guess it's because of how I'm seeing it right now. It
Yeah,
could
you got to
change
see it in the way it's
once
meant
I
to
see
be.
in the film, and once he has the the mask on and everything. I hope they don't have the over exaggerated ears. I hope they go with the small for a reason. I hope they go with the smaller version. But
Like the Hulk
We talking about
180,
like
yeah,
the
Hulk
Alex Ross version
181,
with
like
the
his
small
debut.
ears.
and there is basically a rumor that we're going to get the Hulk in this film. This is why I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro, like if you're going to do this, right? I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be a good film. A lot of people, again, Deadpool 2. I prefer Deadpool 1 first because I love that
Yeah.
film. I
Yeah, me
just
too.
love that film.
Mhm.
We know Josh Brolin came out today and said he's not, or I think it was yesterday, he's not in the film, but he could be lying too. We don't know.
Mhm.
But it's just I don't know. I want to see how Negasonic Teenage Warhead, she's in it. Colossus is in it. Um, they asked. It was crazy because it was
I
somewhere
hope
where
it's
they asked,
Ferrigno Hulk.
huh?
If Hulk is in it, I hope it's Ferrigno. I could see them doing some shit like that.
Or
Nah,
Frigga,
man,
Well,
I
that
that
want
would be
could
Ed
funny.
happen.
Norton, bro.
Like, there's nothing that is
That would
not
be
on the
funny.
table.
That
I
would
want
Could
be
be
Ed
Ed
fucking
Norton.
funny.
Could be like Banner. Who knows? But
That could be fucking funny. They
Mhm.
asked James Marsden if he was going to come back as Cyclops. And he's like, when they asked him, he kept it short. He's like, I don't know. I didn't get a call. And when he did it,
Whatever.
he looked over and didn't, you know what I mean?
He
But
lying, bro.
it could be. You never know, bro. But it,
we know Famke Jensen is in it. It's like,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I guarantee you. And
Is
like,
Hal the official of Storm?
they haven't
they
made
haven't
it
said it.
official,
They haven't
but
made it
like,
official. They
that's like a
didn't.
very
Possibility.
heavily.
She had the white hair
drenched
on a
rumor.
few times.
And you know
bro,
what?
like-
For all we know, it could be another cut scene where we see him walk past a room and they're in the fucking room and he just keeps going. It could be one of those again, like we got from Deadpool
That's
2.
the thing. We have no
Mhm.
idea to the extent
Yeah.
of any of these. Some of them
Yeah.
could be really, major,
Yeah.
and others could be like it's literally somebody sitting in a fucking coffee shop and he walks by the street and like,
Yeah.
who knows?
Eric
But-
Bana as Maestro.
Yeah, I know. All I'm saying, and not to deviate, Hot Toys, you know what you need to do. You know exactly what you need to do. Come on, let's make this happen. Let's make this happen.
Bruh,
Let's
I'm
make
getting
this
that day
happen.
one.
Anyway,
Absolutely,
Day one.
Getting back to this though, I just wanted to slide that in there. You might see
Yes,
me
sir.
slide that in there throughout the show, but I'm just
Yes,
saying I'm
sir.
throwing out some hints. So at
Before
least they'll know.
before you go, just because you
Go
brought
ahead.
up a video game thing there, you know that today they announced it. They made it official. A new Black Panther video game is in development.
Oh, for real?
What?
Yep.
So we already knew there was already a team
There's-
up, Black Panther and Captain America team up
Mm-hmm.
video game in the works by one studio, but a new studio under EA announced today that
Oh,
they're
shit.
doing a new Black Panther solo video game, and
Oh shit.
it's right now word is that it's going to be like an open world game and largely set in Wakanda.
Oh yeah.
So that was announced today. Now it's obviously several years away before it comes
Mhm.
out, but that was announced today. So
It'll be on PS12.
yeah, it'll probably. I think it'll be out in time for PS6. Yeah,
PS6 maybe. Yeah.
or whatever it's called at that point. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there because but see, and also, what's going on with the Wolverine game, bro?
it's
That's
coming.
supposed to be still
That's
coming, too.
Insomniac. It's
Oh, they
2024.
announced that like
Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Cool.
this year it's probably going to be. So this October is Spider-Man 2, and Insomniac is also making the Wolverine game, and so it's most likely going to be between August and October of 2024. So it'll be like 1 year removed to give this one time to
Damn.
breathe and have DLC. So we should have it sometime in the second half of 2024 next year.
Yeah, yeah. So and I think it's going to be super dope.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. I can't wait for it. Can't wait to see. Again, we got some crazy shit coming. Again, I don't want to and again not to deviate from what we were talking about though. I think this film is going to be dope. Again, I'm just reserved because I definitely want it to be good. I want it to be a good movie, but I don't want it to be overstuffed to the point where you're just throwing so many things in there and it just gets kind of lost in the sauce. So that's basically why, I was just kind of, a little bit reserved. Uh, but other than that, like I'm cool with it. I mean, it
I
is what it
love it.
is,
I'm
man.
excited, bro.
It is
I
what it is.
can't wait.
So what I want to do now is move on before we actually get to the main topic, which again is talking about Secret Invasions episodes 2 and 3. I must say that I'm quite enjoying this show. I know what people are talking about.
Such
Well,
a
it's not
turnaround.
it's not getting a lot of viewership, man, or it's not, man. Fuck that. I don't care. I'm enjoying it. If you just got to catch on eventually if you want to catch on. I don't care about what
Yeah, I
everybody
like
talk
it. I
about.
don't know people
I
talk about
love the
it.
There are
film
also
so
a lot
far.
of people who wait until, especially when it's only 6 episodes. There are a lot
They
of
wait
people who
until it's
just wait
done
until the whole
and
thing and
binge
then
it.
binge it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you gotta wait. As far as people talking about numbers right now, who cares?
Yeah. So what I want to kind of talk about right now, this guy again, because I was like, yo, I know we've talked about a lot of people, but this guy, European based, is really, really, really a great artist. Um, and a lot of his work, has been showcased in both DC, and Marvel. And I think he, does definitely a great job. A lot of pieces. You probably have some now. He's still working in full form and doing such a great job. And definitely I think his work is out there. And that's the guy Barry, Mr. Barry himself, the zany Barry. I think the last time I actually talked to him was at I got a chance to talk to him at Supernova in Sydney, Australia. And he's fucking funny. Like literally, he's a funny dude. Like his side quirks and shit like that is crazy. But this is Barry Kitson. Definitely an inspiring artist, an incredible artist. But he's done a lot of work. He's done more work in DC than anything else. But he's definitely a phenomenal artist. You guys familiar? Vinny, you familiar with Barry, bro?
Yeah, I like his Superman stuff. I like his take on what you call it, Parasite and some others. He has a really clean style. It's not uh, it's not super abstract or loud, or it doesn't really reach out and punch you in the throat or anything. But it's really clean, really consistent, really
Mm-hmm.
just that, and that's the key, right? Like it's really consistent, really smooth, lots of clean work. I really I really dig his consistency and just like a lot of clean projects from DC and Marvel, and it's I like that he's been on so many different books from DC and Marvel. Like he's
Yeah, bro.
been around a minute, and he's never been tied down to one series for all that long. Like, and he has a lot of classic takes with even with more modern books. He has just classic takes on it. He never really tries to reinvent the wheel too much. He just it's more like a kind of like a Alex Ross type, but not in style, but in just nostalgia. Like he is a throwback artist to the older, cleaner Dicko type, Ramita type, like classicness. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always what I always got from his stuff: just clean, consistent, and just classic.
Yeah, definitely. He's really consistent, and this is like what, and like, bro, is he like the most phenomenal artist? Nah, I mean he's but I think his what I like is his work ethic
Yeah,
and his consistency, and also the simple fact that he is able to bounce between both. And I think when I talked to him the last time at Supernova, one of the things that he said is that as a artist, as a working artist, it was important for him. He just keeps working. He
yeah,
he he keeps working. He's always submitting. Just certain pieces. And he was one of the ones that the most important thing that he ever said was to always have a very important marriage to the artist. I mean, to
hmm
the writer, to the writer. You know what I mean? Because he has to understand the writer's vision. So, like for him, sometimes when he's connects with the writer, he would sit down, talk with the writer for days. Like they would have coffee, they would sit down, talk, about the direction. So at least they know they're on one accord. He would
yeah,
sketch out certain things, from the writer's perspective. I think at one point he said that he had and this was late great Stan Lee, may he rest in peace. um Stan Lee had it was, I think it was during the which run was that? Um oh man. I think he it was an inspiration for like the Darkest Night era, and
Okay.
and he had moved from DC over to Marvel at that particular point, and he was actually supposed to be on board to write around that particular time. He was on board for the Siege. He was supposed to be on board
Okay.
around that time, but it was conflicts between him and DC at that time. But Stan had always told him, it's like a revolving door. You're always welcome back here. So to have that level of respect, I'm like, yo, like that level of consistency from an artist perspective is incredible. What about you, Mr. Butt Naked?
To be honest, he was never really high on my list of favorites. He's a guy that he never really had these really long extended runs on any one book like you see with a lot of other, like a Bagley or something like that. Like he did actually Amazing Spider-Man and Legion of Superheroes are probably the two that he did the most work on. I was never a big Legion of Superheroes reader. I definitely like Amazing Spider-Man, but when you think of he was that kind of that workhorse for whatever company he was in, that he would he was very versatile. He'd be able to show up and draw, do any book that they needed him to. But for me, his style never stood out when he took on a character. It was like, I don't want us to sound negative or but like the vanilla version of that character. It was very simple, very clean, not overly stylized. Like, even if you look at this right here, like he's got like almost like that 90s style, but like on decaf. It's not over the top like you would get from like a Liefeld or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not as kind of as stylized as like a Todd McFarlane or something like that, but you could see it's in the same era. It's like in that same vein. So he's a guy that I think I respect for his consistency and his output. But it was never one where I was like, oh man, I love his style like I do like a David Mack or an Alex Maleev or an Alex Ross or something like that. So he's not somebody that I've like sought out and like intentionally made an effort to follow over the course of his career or over the course of my comic book reading. Definitely respected, but doesn't make it into my like top 10 list of favorite artists.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, and here's the thing though. I think, and like I said, he's not the most prolific artist. Like, he's not the person that when you look at, you're going to say that you notice his work, but you're not going to, you would say that, okay, it's him, but it's nothing that you have seen different. But what I think he has over a lot is the consistency. You know what I mean? Is this a level of consistency of who he works with? And the thing is, again, he doesn't have these huge runs because he's always bouncing back between, different, whether it's DC, whether it's Marvel, whether it's Image, he's bouncing back and forth between different, genres and different books.
Yeah,
but
and it definitely factors in who the colorist that he's working with is. Because you look at this, and that's very different from the Superman cover that you had a minute ago, and it almost to the point where it looks like a different artist. So that's the other thing is, who's on pencils and who's on colors and how that relationship works.
Yeah, definitely. Baby Potter Smack, bro. What's going on with you, bro? What's
Gotta be me. Gotta be me.
Shit ain't me.
I've only known him from Man of Steel, the Man of Steel Superman run, and Adventures. So I didn't even know he was going back and forth between DC and Marvel like that. I didn't know he did Spider-Man. That's crazy, but
yeah, he did a couple, bro.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to say, like, I mean, I respect his art. I mean, his artwork is crazy. I respect what he does, but
Hmm.
he's just not one of mine that I would really pull out. You know what? I didn't really know that he did Strange too. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
But I've
Hmm.
only known him for Superman.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
those two runs with Adventures, Superman, and with Man of Steel. So,
Yeah. I mean,
but
he's
I like a Superman. Though. I ain't gonna lie. I love how he's like you
yeah.
said earlier. It's not like that '80s
Hmm.
OD bodybuilder, but it's like
Yeah.
in between. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like you said, '80s on decaf. That's pretty funny. But yeah, that's what it is pretty much to me. So I
Yeah.
mean, I know
Yeah.
him for Superman. That's it. So I
Definitely.
like his Man of Steel stuff pretty much.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Hmm.
And like I said, he does such a his again, his stuff is it's not over the top.
Hmm.
You can know it's I would actually say it's more traditional.
It's
You know what I
clean
mean?
though. It's
It's more
clean.
clean, and that's just
Hmm.
basically where it is. But I mean, even for
Hmm.
what he does in his work, I think it's still decent. So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of wanted to feature him today. And the thing is, like everybody out there understand, we're gonna get these artists where it's gonna be like, meh, but we still respect them. You know what I mean? Like this is how it is. Just
Well, but
meh.
that's the great thing about comics, though,
Yeah.
is that you're gonna get. I could There could be an artist that I absolutely love, and then you might be like, "Oh, I can't fucking stand that guy's work,"
Yeah, 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 yeah,
right? But
yeah.
like that's just we're not all gonna be super high. Obviously, there are gonna be those kind of legends of the industry and stuff like that we're all pretty much in agreement on. But then there are gonna be others that people's styles, whether it's writing or art, that are super divisive.
Yeah.
Like for writing, for example, I am a huge fan of Brian Michael Bendis and his writing style, but I know some people who hate his writing style.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing
Yeah.
about comics, though, is that there's something for everybody.
Yeah. That they
But
when people think about Bendis, sometimes it's just like, you know, do you have to explain everything the way you do? But it's you know, and then Hickman, everybody basically has their choice and their picks, bro. The same as an
Hmm.
artist, you know what I mean? Some artists, people are unanimous on about their hatred because, the simple fact that they're just, you
but I
know,
like it though because it's like not every. I like switching it up sometimes and having a feature artist that isn't an obvious legend
Hmm.
pick. You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
Yeah.
I have some favorite artists that maybe not everybody would know that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, cool. I'll check out his stuff. Or, nah, it's not for me. But that's part of what we do. We talk about books people don't know all the time. So why,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
in general.
yeah,
So I like talking about artists that maybe not everybody knows because we talk about Jim Lee. Everybody watching already knows all
Knows.
Right.
about Jim Lee.
Hmm.
So I like
But there are
switching it up
some
sometimes.
there are some artists at work today too that aren't household names that
Yeah,
are putting out amazing work
Great
yeah.
work.
So
Yeah.
that
I'm
people don't necessarily like. They're thinking about the Jim Lees and the
yeah,
Steve Ditkos and the Jack
Hmm.
Kirbys, and they're thinking about the David Macks and the Alex Rosses, and
Hmm.
they're sleeping on
yeah,
Alessandro Capuccio, who has been absolutely destroying the current run on Moon Knight with Jed McKay.
yeah.
This
Hmm.
mhm,
guy's art, and then Rochelle Rosenberg, who's doing the colors for him.
Hmm.
That pairing, they're fucking unbelievable. And I don't hear anybody actually talking about how beautiful those Moon Knight books are right now, and they should, because those two are super talented.
Yeah. So
The
I love like that. One week we could be talking about Alex Ross, but in a
Yeah.
way, I can't wait till we get to where we're talking about the Ryan Otleys.
Yep,
Hmm.
You know what
But
I
see,
mean?
that's
Like
what's good
Ryan
about
Stegman too.
that's
Like,
what's good
yeah,
exactly.
about this show,
mhm.
bro. It's like, we could be on a run on a roll with like top 10 guys that everybody knows, but then we take that one left turn where the guy is really good, but people might not as know him as much. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's good because
yeah.
it's
The top
informative.
10
Like,
people you don't know about but should.
Yes,
Like,
right, right,
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
right. So
yeah.
that's good that we do that sometimes.
No,
that
definitely, bro.
that's also
Definitely.
the thing, is just that like, again, because there are those big names for like the Alex Rosses and
Mm-hmm.
even like Jorge Jimenez and stuff like that
mhm.
people are very familiar with. But then there are so many other people that are churning out great work right now, but everybody is thinking about the legends
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're not thinking about the legends in the making. Like
In the
people,
making,
people always, I'm gonna go back and look at Todd McFarlane's this and that. Look at that. It's like,
Kingdom
all right,
Come.
but are you looking at this
Mhm.
book right now that is on fire? Are you paying attention to that artist and go back and look? Oh shit, he did that book too, and he did. Damn, this guy's done a shit ton of stuff that's really
Mhm.
good. People are
Yeah.
kind of not. They're like looking at the legends, but they're not looking at like what's being created right now and realizing, because a lot of people also have a bias. It's like they're all about like Silver Age. I haven't read anything since 1986 that's new because it's all sucked after that. That's horseshit. There's been great writing and art after that, but sometimes there's that bias of like, oh, this is the classics and this is what I grew up with. That it's like, oh, something being made in 2023, there's no way that can be worth a damn. Man, there is some amazing art out there right now that people just aren't giving its due, and it's making it harder for some artists to really get over.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, bro. Like I try to bring in artists that either I've had like interactions with, met, or appreciate some of their work, because I was even going through some of the books, and I'm like, sometimes I'll go through like, books, even my latest pull, I'm looking like, yo, oh fuck, I forgot about this artist. Like, let me go back, you know what I mean, and just look at some of the work that they've actually done. Oh fuck, I can't remember. I didn't know that they did this. That's the beauty of it, is that when you get familiar with a person's work, you can go back and look at some of the shit that they've done, some of their earlier work.
I didn't know Bill Sienkiewicz did every fucking book ever made. Like,
nobody knew that man touched everything from album covers, you know what I mean, to your mom. Like, he's basically done everything, bro.
That episode blew me. I'm like, yo, he did RZA's album cover. He did,
bro.
A lot of these artists, album covers, movie posters. Dude, David Mack did the design for the closing credits for Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Nobody knows that. Like,
definitely,
that was a
bro.
really good episode,
which brings me to my next point. Like, we're talking about, and we're moving in now to like Secret Invasions. I didn't know Sienkiewicz actually did this. Like, actually seeing that, he's, that.
That's Vinny, boy.
You never know.
You never know.
Know.
So we're basically sliding in to Secret Invasions episodes 2 and 3.
Super scroll, baby.
Again, like
it's about trying to find a new home room.
Home room, right?
That's
like
it,
definitely.
Baby.
So we're sliding into this, man, and I must say, like, I am thoroughly myself. I am enjoying this as much. Here's the thing, bro. Like,
here comes the flip.
I like the slow crawls. I really do like this. I've been saying this from day one, even watching Andor. I like the slow crawls. I don't like where it's just constant action. I like the slow. I love the dialogue. I love basically the banter back and forth. Episode 2 was probably one of the most pivotal episodes for me because I love the conversation. I love basically where it's going. And a lot of people were bitching and moaning about, man, this broken Nick Fury sucks. Nah, man, I like it. Like, I like it. I like the simple fact that we're seeing him very unconventional. We're seeing him in a space where he doesn't have the right answers. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on all the time, and he just playing
that second episode needed to earn you back after Maria.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Not happy.
I wasn't happy at all.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of heated about it, but I am, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still heated because I'm like, come on, man. Hell, give her a chance, bro.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to say that there's not a possibility that we won't see the character back. I'm definitely not saying that, but I'm just like, yo, come on, man. Like, give her a chance, bro. I want to actually, in the MCU, she should have had it, but I do understand how her death serves the purpose of the narrative because it was that push that Nick needed.
Dude, when he talks to her mother at the airport, you see the pain in his face, man. When she's like,
bro.
Don't let it be for nothing.
Bro.
Because he had to tell his mom or her mom that it wasn't about her. It was that somebody wanted to hurt me, and that's how they did it.
Her baby died like that.
He admitted, he's like, I'm the reason she's dead. And now, like, man, that's a fucking driving force, and that's like the emotional crux for him. You've got Talos's emotional side with Gaia and stuff and his family, but Nick needed that on his side, and he's got it.
Yeah.
And I must say, bro, I have to say this, like, this dude is impressive.
Oh, this guy is
I just
going
wanna punch
places,
him in his
man.
face,
I've never
bro.
seen him in anything, so I don't know if he's done
Bro,
other stuff.
He was
really
in.
good,
He's done
but-
a lot. He was actually in Malcolm X, so he basically played Malcolm X.
He did.
He played
He was
Malcolm
playing
X. In,
Bob Marley.
Not in
yeah,
Miami.
now he's playing Bob Marley soon.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
just in the Barbie film that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So he's in that.
Wait, he played Malcolm in what?
he was Malcolm.
4 Nights in Miami. Or
Yeah,
something?
4 Nights in Miami. It was on. I think it was on.
Wait, the Amazon Prime one with him and
Yeah,
Sam
he played
Cooke
Malcolm X.
and
Yup.
Yeah.
He was Malcolm X.
and Muhammad Ali. He was
Yeah.
Malcolm in.
He was
You
Malcolm
son
X.
of a bitch, the glasses. You're right. Oh my god,
Yup.
I just saw it now. I'm
Dude,
seeing him with the
his
glasses. Right.
character
I
in
fucking
this-
love that movie. Regina King directed that movie.
Yep,
Directed
and she
that, yep.
killed
That
it, bro.
movie
She
is.
killed it.
If you haven't seen that on Amazon, it's so fucking
It's
good.
awesome.
It is,
And it's
bro.
about a
Really
real
good.
night that
Yup.
they spent, like the accounts of exactly what transpired.
My
and what
favorite
hell
line.
vary, but that's a great fucking. I did not realize that was him.
Bro.
Yeah,
Favorite
bro.
line from that entire that movie was, I was trying to get some pussy tonight.
Yeah. 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 Who that? Jim
Bro.
Brown, right?
Yup.
Jim
But
Brown.
dude,
said
the-
that?
Jim Brown said that shit. Yeah.
Brown.
The British accent. So I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Dude,
seeing him in that movie,
Bro.
But this dude is
character on
so
this
fucking
show-
good.
He
He's
is.
got
Character-
this presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, on this show, he makes you want to beat him up because he's such a dickhead. in
Yeah,
the show.
bro.
Which is dope because finally a villain who's not like, oh, just
Yeah.
like here, go like this villain. Like
Right.
I hate the
He's
Loki
an
villain
asshole.
now, where everybody has to be so likable.
Yeah.
No,
He's
like,
always
let him be a villain.
he always comes across as just maybe just a little bit stoned, so it'll actually work perfectly for Bob Marley
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
always just it's bordering like I just don't give a fuck, and I might have blazed a little bit on the way over to this meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
just so you
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Like
But
he
he's
does.
so
bro,
good.
He's
Remember
good,
when he was
bro,
in the window
because-
with the chewing gum?
bro. He's
Yeah.
unpredictable, bro. He is so fucking unpredictable
Yeah.
and arrogant. Like
Yeah.
really arrogant, but scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
literally
yeah.
scary as
Yeah.
fuck. And the way he pulls it off, bro, I'm like, yo, this character, like I've wanted. It's been a while since we've had a very convincing villain.
Villain,
Villain,
yeah.
exactly.
Like
I
it's
hope
been a
he
while.
ends up as a super Skrull that doesn't die at the end
Yeah.
of this. That he's present in the MCU moving forward and has a
He'll
role
be
to
around,
play.
I think.
Because he's too
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
to be limited to just the show.
And the thing is, bro, like just the sheer conversation that he had in the room with the High Council, like
Oh,
just
he should on all them.
bro. But
Yeah.
the shit that if you listen to what he was saying, it was like
Mhm.
you kind of find it hard to disagree.
Mhm.
Like literally what he's saying, he was like, and he
Yeah.
says it in the most casual way. Oh well,
Hmm.
you know, humans kill themselves anyway. Like,
That's
yeah,
the writing for the dialogue in this
Yeah.
and has been so good and it's so captivating. The best
Yeah.
scenes are when two characters are sitting down and they're
Yeah.
it's just verbal chess. All right. When you had Nick Fury and Rhodey, which
Mhm.
spoiler alert, probably not Rhodey, but
No,
when
I
you
think
had
it's a Skrull.
those two going back and forth in the restaurant, when you
Yeah.
Nick and Talos going back and forth in multiple different scenes,
Mhm.
when you've got him and Gaia or him and Talos, right, or him at the meeting with the council, right? There's
Yeah.
so many moments in this where it's just the conversation, and I'm
Mhm.
like, don't cut to any other scenes. I'll watch this for 40 minutes. Just
Yeah.
you two just go back and forth. Like that scene with Rhodey and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson
If that
and Don
was
Cheadle,
3 times as long, I would have eaten it up.
That
I would have
that was
scene
loved it.
cold
masterclass.
as
That was
ice.
masterclass.
That was definitely
masterclass.
Sam Jackson, bro.
Sam
Yeah.
Jackson,
That
and Don
scene-
Cheadle,
Masterclass.
masterclass.
Mhm.
Yo,
It's also a
back in-
travesty seeing that they haven't done that before in the MCU.
Yeah.
That
You know,
took
you
this
know what,
long.
one of
Yeah.
the best parts about that scene is it was one of the first times it felt like Don Cheadle could be a lead in a Marvel film, despite the fact that he's been a lead actor everywhere else in
Right.
MCU.
Marvel,
He's
yep.
like, oh, and also Rhodey. And
Right.
in that moment, in that scene, in that episode, it was like I would watch him leading the Avengers to go fuck somebody up. Like he looked
Mhm.
ready to, you know,
Yeah.
like and come at it with a whole nother like government type angle. Like,
Bro.
I could definitely see. I can't wait for Armor Wars now.
Yeah,
he
hell yeah.
said-
And that's what this show is doing. That it's going to get
Setting it all
people
up.
fucking
Yeah.
hyped for that movie.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
tell you, this scene right here, well, it's not quite on the same level.
It's powerful.
It gave me vibes of De Niro and Pacino in Heat in the coffee
Yeah.
shop,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The two of them going
Yeah.
back and forth, and you just had these two primetime amazing actors at their peak, and this was Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle finally getting a chance, because even Sam Jackson has had a bigger role than Don Cheadle in the MCU, but still, neither one of them has been dead center.
Together.
I am the fucking man.
Mm-hmm.
I am the lead in this. And the two of them to have that scene together shows just how much of a mistake it's been that it took this long to get to that point.
Yeah.
Bro, when he told him, even when I'm out, I'm in, I got chills, dog.
But at the same time, it was like a rare Fury and somebody else scene where I don't feel like Fury just steamrolled, like
Rhodey held his own.
Rhodey held his own, and it was a back and forth.
own.
Whereas Fury and a tit for tat with anybody in MCU has always been like the absolutely over the top. Like Fury just got him, shut him down, and I don't feel like that happened there. Like he got the last word, but
that boy said, even when I'm out, I'm still in.
They killed it. Great. They killed it. I would have watched them.
Scene though,
just keep going.
Is that I feel like it's not actually going to have been Rhodey.
Yeah, that's what
so
I think.
it's like it's like that was great, but then you realize it wasn't actually Rhodey, most likely that that was saying those things to Nick Fury, and that part is like that kind of sucks because he did so well, and I want it to be Rhodey who stood his ground with Sam Jackson, and to have that conversation mean more to both of them rather than it turn out to be a Skrull.
Let me ask a stupid question, right? So do you think, because I'm thinking the same thing, I think Rhodey's a Skrull. Do you think when he got hurt in Civil War, when he was out, that's when the Skrull took over? Like got him while he was knocked out? Because he was out for days, right? When Vision hit his suit and he had no power and he fell?
No, I don't think that. Like back in Civil War.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think this is a more recent, because remember that was all before Endgame and stuff like that. I don't think we're gonna find out that Rhodey was a Skrull through Infinity War and Endgame and everything beyond that. I think he was taken over much more recently. It's not something that I don't think he's just been a Skrull in anything else we've seen.
That's the only time he was really out of it. Could have been out of it and could have been taken over. Maybe it could have been kidnapped or whatever.
It just happens off camera. We don't see it. But
that's kind of the thing that this show is going to miss as the biggest difference to me from the comics, is that reveal of Jessica Drew being a Skrull for the past 20 years, 30 years. Like they won't get to have that moment because the MCU hasn't been around long enough for it to be there might be like a politician that they've been for all this time, but there won't be like a super that they've been all this time. I think it's one of the things that, despite the fact that there's so many different superhero Marvel films, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of superheroes in the comics that they could play,
true.
or have been over all these years. So, and they're just now, like we're seeing them just now figure out how to get superpowers, so that way they can impersonate supers too, and super villains or superheroes, whoever they need to. What's really frustrating again, and it's just one of the things I just can't let go, is just that how fucking stupid do you have to be to have let them in the first place? And there's million of them now. Like, how do you not see that coming? It's just insane to me.
Well, did they come while he was gone during the blip? I didn't understand that part. Or did Talos bring him in here the whole time?
Well, Talos was allowed in, and then I believe the point was when Fury left.
It was back in like 90 whatever. Like it was in Captain Marvel, like when he basically then sent out the bat signal, like he's like, hey, everybody who's still alive, and they just all showed up.
And they all showed up.
Okay.
And we had no idea
Yeah,
And
no,
this is why I'm saying, like, most of the interactions that we basically seen from 94 up to 97 up to 2000, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of interactions basically took place
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't know about. And now in our minds, we're trying to think back on moments, whether it was Civil War, whether it was Age of Ultron,
right,
whether it was Captain America, Winter Soldier, whether it was the first. We're thinking back to a lot of these moments, trying to just
Mm-hmm.
think about were there signs even then.
right.
Notably, there are characters who right now, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, they could either
It could
still
have
be
been,
alive
yeah.
or they could have been
Tony
something
Stark.
completely different. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
don't
like
know.
with the Registration Act, it's like, obviously it's played up to that Tony's wrong, but and when you really look at it like an adult, yeah, like they should have to, there's the argument could be made that superheroes should have to register and say,
Hmm.
hey, look, this is
Hmm.
what I am and what I could do, so that way if something happens, like, same thing with the X-Men with, like, of course Senator Kelly is always the bad guy for wanting mutants to register, but if there really were mutants in the world, you might feel differently if one blew up your kid's school. Like
Yeah.
there's you know what I mean? Like it's easy to look at them as the bad guy when the story is told from the mutant's perspective in the comic. But like,
From
yes,
humanity
but
standpoint, when you're
but
looking at it, and when you're
and that
looking at it from a standpoint where you're just a normal individual with
exactly,
zero
it's
powers
all
at
perspective.
all, you're
Mm-hmm.
So
afraid. The fear that
right,
we would have knowing that these people exist. And
it'd be
again, you
so
want to be accepting, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same
absolutely
time, if they go unregistered or if we don't know about them,
right.
again, if you have a child, like you said, in a school, can just blow it up and you would be like, damn.
Yep. So
Yeah.
by that logic, letting in even a handful of people who can literally shapeshift and just be anybody else, where you would have never have any idea, it sounds just so crazy. Despite the fact that obviously he's looking at it, like to use them to his advantage. But how do you not have the foresight to realize how south that could go if you lose control? And
Let
then
It's
here
alone
it's
now
1 million of them.
it's
there's a
one of the
million of them.
things. It's one of the things though that I think we've all loved about comics for so long, that they also do in the MCU. Sometimes they do it really well, sometimes not so well, but the attempt is there. But it's always relevant to what's going on in our world, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about like in the '60s and the Civil Rights Movement and the X-Men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but then if you look at the things that, like, the whole point of Civil War, and it's fleshed out more in the comics than in the movie, but still the movie, it was good. The whole point of Civil War is that you can see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are going to be people that are team Cap, and there are going to be people that are team,
Iron
Tony.
Man.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
you, even though you may not agree with his methods, that you could see the point that Killmonger was making in the first Black Panther movie, and you could at least respect it to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, part of
Mm-hmm.
Same
growing up and being
thing.
an adult is realizing even Lex Luthor has a point.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
so with the Skrulls part and the way they're playing it out in this, it's very relevant to the world as that we live in today, with tons of refugees fleeing
Right.
different countries and trying to find asylum and safe haven in our country and other countries in Europe. So there's a lot of fear about, oh, well, if we let these people in, then they're going to start doing this and that. But then there's the moral responsibility that we have it, and saying, well, if we can help these people, should we should or we shouldn't. And
Yeah.
there are the different sides of those. And so whether you agree with one side or the other, it's socially, it's societally relevant. And that's what this show is reflecting, that
Yeah.
that's part of our real world right now.
It
Whether you think they
is.
made the right move or the wrong move. And obviously, in our world right now, superpowers aren't a thing, for it. But the superpowers that they have in this almost kind of double as, the suspected criminality that people associate with refugees that would be coming into this country or into other
Yeah,
countries in Europe too.
exactly.
So, whether you agree or disagree on either side, it's very relevant to the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of these girls are mean hombres. So,
Yeah.
and we grew up reading them.
Yeah.
So it's really weird as a comic book fan to watch
have
Captain
some good
Marvel
ones.
and watching them be funny and
Mhm.
like, of course, come on in, guys. And it's like, no, they're fucking scrolls. What are you
The
doing?
scrolls, right, right, right. This is the first show that I've been satisfied, like y'all said, with the slow drag. I've never
Mhm.
I'm an action guy, you know what I'm saying? So I've always expected like bam bam boom in the beginning. But to see all the dialogue that's going on, all the different personalities, to deal with the fact that these guys are refugees trying to find a planet,
Mhm.
to see all that be played out. I mean, be played out and be spoken about during the between the different characters is new to me. I'm like, wow, this is
Doesn't
dope.
Nick? Here's my thing. Doesn't Nick
Mhm.
Fury like have a way to get in contact with the Guardians? Because America doesn't. I mean, Earth doesn't really seem to know a lot of planets in MCU, but the Guardians have been to hundreds. You would
Yeah,
think that they would have
he does
put them in
supposedly.
touch with the Guardians to find
Well,
a
he hasn't
planet.
actually. Other the only like
Miss
cosmic
Mar,
kind of character that he's actually had any contact with on screen in the MCU
Miss
uh,
Marvel.
is Ms. Marvel and like Talos. Like that's
Hmm.
it. Like
And Miss
he
Marvel
hasn't.
has spent the little
Right, yeah,
as
no,
a
but I'm
plot
just saying they
device
haven't.
years,
Mhm.
Yeah, but
They
years
even
they
off
caught
of
haven't
her.
World.
actually shown him have any engagement with with the Guardians and stuff. Now that being said, he has been up in that sword station for a while.
Yeah,
I would
that
love
we
for them to
know.
reveal that he didn't really want them off world. Like he wanted
But my
them.
thing,
I think
which
that would make it more interesting and more of a like a justification for Galac's action is if it's revealed that Galax somehow found out that Fury had an opportunity to get them off world and he was like, nah, they're helping me. They're my spies. Why would I want to get rid of
Mhm.
them? Not
Mhm.
realizing that there's not just a handful in his pocket, that
yeah.
there's
The
way more.
millions. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why
And I
why
think
build
that was
sword
what you say?
if you're not why build sword if you're not going to be in constant contact with like Captain Marvel or you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That
That's a
might I
waste.
think
Well,
that might be it though, that he never
We
really
don't
did
know
want them
what.
to get rid of him.
Yeah, we
sword.
don't know the
Yeah.
extent of what he's been doing up there, and we won't. Maybe we get some of that in like the Marvels movie,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
we don't know because we saw him up there and in that like the tag scene in
Yeah.
No Way Home,
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
no Far From Home. So
Yeah.
we don't know the extent of what he was actually doing up there, or
Hmm.
were they up
Yeah.
there trying to be proactive, or was it more just like we're going to be like the guard dog for anybody trying to come to Earth kind of thing?
Yeah, and I
I want
think
to
that
know
that
if
was majority of it was basically in sword. With basically the development of sword was for any type of galactic threat. But I
Right.
Intergalactic threat,
also
yeah.
believe that knowing what he knows and his communication with Talos, knowing that there was also a battle between the Kree and the
Mhm.
Skrulls, it's to kind of monitor because you know that threat and just keep and remember that at the end of Captain Marvel, definitely Ronan did say we're coming back for the weapon. And
Hmm.
because they know that again, the existence, I forget what they call Earth. It's terror. Is it
Terra.
Yeah.
terror?
Terra, yeah,
So they call
yeah.
Earth terror. So basically knowing that existence and know it in the pushback and how, just our the human condition is the pushback against any type of threat, again, and also knowing that they're in direct contact with the scrolls. I think that they
Hmm.
already knew that, on a cosmic level, that, that taste of what Earth can present. It was only evident that, Talos would invite the scrolls to Earth, at that particular point, because it was more, in his mind, more of a safe haven than anywhere else, because they were still being hunted,
Hmm.
by, the Kree. It was
Right.
just still hunting grounds. So they might have felt more protection. He might felt as though there would have been more protection with them on Earth. Him aligning himself with Nick Fury knowing the Avengers and
Hmm.
any other, so that's something. There is just the simple fact that he didn't tell him. You
But
know what I
then,
mean?
um, on what Brendan was saying about, maybe he didn't want to send them back because they were working for him. Like that's foul. I mean, even though I can't stand Gravik as a character, but I want to just, oh god, he's such a dick. Like he's the real dickhead villain.
He needs to
But
become a super Skrull and be a big bad for like the whole MCU.
right.
He can't just be relegated to this show.
But see, I sympathize with him because of the fact that what you said about maybe Nick is letting them stay because he got them working for him.
That's
You know
what
what I
I'm saying.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, Vinny said that. My bad. Yeah, because it's like he got him around because he didn't want to send him home yet because they're doing all his spy work for him,
I mean, that might be
which is
revealed.
fucked up.
That's just a theory. It might be what it is, but
That's messed
it's
up
still.
though, bro.
I feel like there's still more to be revealed.
Mhm.
Behind what he knows and what's going on, and that's part of Fury. Like there's secrets upon secrets. There's so many layers. I want to know how it's possible in the 5 years or however long it's been since they've been here in
Mhm.
that large a number. None of them have died. Via a accident or crash or nothing,
Yeah.
and reversed the scroll and freaked everybody.
And then
fuck.
and they had to go and like Men in Black them, like
Yeah,
fucking
like
blast
just
everything,
have a whole
like,
team
wipe their
show up
brains.
and like
Right.
we get rid of the witnesses.
Yo, shout
Yeah,
out
Men
to
in
the
Black.
casting for his Skrull wife though,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
she played
She's dope.
His
she
mom
played.
in Glass.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm not even talking about that.
No,
That's what's
She
up.
was Will's aunt on Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah.
The four, the four,
Nuh-uh.
not Vivian. Remember when they all got together? They all screamed diva. The youngest one, the one who was marrying the white dude,
Yeah.
and then Will's
Okay.
mom got mad
shit.
on Fresh Prince. That's that
Gotcha.
actress.
But
Yeah.
hold up. Time out. She played Sam's mom in Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she was
The
Glass.
younger version of him, like when he was a kid and he was like breaking
Yeah.
all his bones.
bro,
and everything.
But she was
that just
also
blows
the
me
older
away.
version that sat in the actual
In a
station.
wheelchair.
Yeah, but they like made her up more. Like
Yeah, they made her look
Yeah.
older. But yeah, that was his mom.
That's so dope, bro.
Yeah, so
What's
She's a
he's
great
good.
actress too, man.
Yeah, she is, bro.
I don't
And
know, man.
they picked her.
If my wife was a Skrull though, she might have to just be like Selma Hayek or Nia Long or somebody like. She might
There
have
you
to.
go.
She might have to just keep switching up.
Bingo.
Man, I'd be like,
Especially when you see how good Salma Hayek still looks today.
Today,
But
in
you
that
know what?
pool,
What I do love, bro, and the biggest thing that I love about this show is the dynamic between Ben Mendelsohn and Sam Jackson, bro.
Yeah.
It's like
See, at first it felt like a
level.
little forced, but this past
Oh, I love
episode,
it.
oh my
They're like
god,
old
yo.
friends. They're like
Oh my
old
god!
friends, dude.
I think what's ironic is I keep going back to how ridiculous it felt them being so goofy and corny in Captain Marvel, and look how
Yeah.
much more believable and awesome
Yeah.
he comes off across. Pissed off like on some
The
Kingpin
anguish
shit.
in his voice. and
On
in
some
his
Kingpin
face.
shit. Like, did you
Oh,
just
yeah.
say Vanessa? Like, say her name again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He
if
he don't is it,
he don't
it's
play.
he definitely
The
don't
Talos character
play.
has evolved.
And so I found it really interesting that all right, so you take Hale away from Fury and Guy away from Talos, and then now you have them both pissed the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I honestly get why people are lukewarm or kind of like bored with the show. It's not for everybody. There's not explosions every 20 minutes. There's not a lot of powers and punches. There's not a lot of superhero action like they're used to, and there's certainly not a lot of jokes like the Marvel formula has
Thank
been for the
God.
past 10 years. But
Yeah.
to me, those are all good things as a refreshing break from the
Yeah.
constant.
When you do it right,
MCU
you get
formula.
Andor. Like
And
that's
it's
what
just
this
Right.
like,
is.
all right,
That's
we
what they
have
make
so many Guardians of the Galaxy type joke Marvel shows and movies. There's enough of them. Like
Yeah.
this is nice at being something different. And again, you don't gotta watch every single Marvel show. Like you'll be okay. Like you'll be all right. So
So this
Definitely.
scene, this
not
torture
everything
scene
has to be for everybody.
in the
Yeah.
in the walk-in
Olivia
refrigerator.
Colman is dope, bro.
Yeah.
She's
This was some Jack
Bro-
Bauer shit.
Bro, but
This
did you
was
hear what she
Power
said
Hour,
before
yeah.
she walked as she was walking in the room?
Jack Ryan.
Did you hear what she said
I don't
What you
remember.
mean?
about beating your meat? Did she-
Oh, when you go
No.
blind, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
bro, she's
It was those yes.
And then she asked about like the escape hatch too, because she
Yeah.
knew that they
She
were
knew it
gonna
was one.
find like
Yeah.
she knew that they were on their
She
way.
knew
and she was
beforehand.
she didn't rush. She was cool, calm, collected.
When she
And
cut
it's-
his finger off.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
And-
no emotion in her. She's like, okay,
Yep.
let's do this.
And I think her
She's
uncle,
ice
was it her
cold.
uncle or her father was Union Jack?
Her
Okay.
uncle. No, her uncle.
Was it her
yeah,
uncle?
I
I
don't
think
remember.
it's her uncle. Was
I think it's
Jack.
her uncle was Union Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
But like she plays that role so
She kills
damn
it,
well.
man.
This might be the the strongest collection of pure actors
Mm-hmm.
that any one Marvel project has had. When you look at her and Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle and Ben Mendelsohn and what's his name that plays Gravik and Amelia Clark, like
Yeah.
this might just be the strongest collection of pure actors that they've had,
bro.
at least in a while.
This is
And
a
yeah.
huge jump from what She-Hulk was, as far as being satisfied with the acting talent, man. This is freaking
It's
awesome.
incredible, bro. And I think that they've aligned themselves with greats, with some greats. And the simple fact that going forward, bro, I'm hoping that this is a sign that going forward, we're going to continue to get, better material when it comes to these shows. Again, writer strike aside, I think that after this, as far as shows, I don't know what other Disney Plus shows we have after this.
Loki
Ahsoka.
season 2,
Yeah,
Echo
Loki's
season 1, Daredevil
true.
season 1.
Yeah.
Armor Wars is a movie now, so that's not on. And then there's like the What If and stuff. I don't. As far as live action goes, I think that's mostly it for right now. I don't think there's lot of. And
What If
at
is
some
only
point
cartoon,
maybe
I
a
think.
Moon Knight season 2, but nothing is announced yet.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't, because now Moon Knight, definitely that could be Loki. I'm hoping that the season, because I liked the last season. A lot of people didn't, but I liked it.
Really
I
good.
liked the first season of Loki.
I liked the
too.
first season. A lot of people basically had their, whatever, but I loved it. I loved everything I got from it.
There's a rumor of them doing a show with John Bernthal with Punisher. I don't know if that'll happen.
What, on the TVA with Loki?
No, of like a Punisher
Of
show.
this, the Punisher
like
show itself.
Nothing to do with Loki. I would love a second season of Moon Knight, but I would love them to do that them to do that in New York after the Daredevil show and actually have, like a ground level, street level New York. And I'm not saying like a huge crossover, but at least a little bit, and have him ingrained in that New York, that street level, like actually, what his core was of like, protecting those who travel at night. Like do that. If he opens up the Midnight Mission, whatever. If they want to do stuff from the Warren Ellis run, since
Midnight
that's when
Suns.
the whole Mr. Knight persona started, that's fine. But I would like to see him more street level in that, and then encounter other people in the MCU, because the first season I thought was good, but it was also completely isolated from the rest of the MCU, which is fine to do that. But he's the kind of character that, based on what he is and what he does, he should run into people like Daredevil. He should run into people
Spider-Man.
like Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. And so hopefully that happens. I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so far, man, like this is setting up the possibilities going forward of what the MCU, because again, we know that this is setting up the Marvels of what we're going to actually see from the Marvels. We also know that this is setting up Armor Wars and what we're going to see, which I'm just wondering, like, where the fuck is Rhodey and when did the change take place? If it did, well, yeah, when did the change take place? And where is he? You know what I mean? Is there another cell? Like, they have these sleeper cells where they're keeping, others, humans that they're using memories and stuff like that. So are we going to see that he's being held in another sleeper cell? Like
he could still be a Skrull by the end of this show. That might not get resolved in this. It might carry over into the plot of something else. Maybe in Captain America.
I'm not
the
convinced
new one.
he is a Skrull, so that'll be
you're not convinced. You think it's basically like a misdirect?
I hope that I hope it's just a fun fan theory, and that's just Rhodey. I hope it's just Cheeto playing up that role more aggressively.
No. There was at the very end when she got the call.
The gun.
It was him on the phone.
It was Cheeto, right?
It was Don Cheadle's voice on the phone. So that's what it's saying. Like when he's like, you got to come. Like it was supposed to be a Skrull on the other end that she was coordinating
to.
with, and then it's Don Cheadle's voice. So that's why everybody thinks that he's the
Bro,
Skrull.
Jason sounded so disappointed. He's like, "Wasn't that him on the
Bruh.
phone?" But see, bro,
Yeah, that was definitely Don Cheadle,
dog.
like,
I don't want
on
him
the
to be a
phone
Skrull,
there.
man.
bro,
That's
he,
what it's
he
not
may
that
not.
people thought he was hamming it up in like his scenes earlier in the episode. It was that he was on the phone at the end.
Yeah, but see, the
Yeah.
only thing that kind of threw me was when he was like, she was like, "Well, I want to speak to Gravitz," and he was like, "Well, you have me now." He's not. You have me. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is there communication? Basically, is there like a treaty, or is there something that's trying to be worked out? I don't
Is he
know.
doing some
I think
spy
he's
shit?
just one of Gravik's operatives. He's underneath Gravik.
It even
But
could be that
if he's a scroll,
it could even be that they're working with scrolls. Because I mean, at face value, if he's not a scroll, he did say that he knows of scrolls, and he could, be in a position where, all right, they're here, and if you need to get anything done, you got to work with politicians who are scrolls. Because if you try to blow it up, you're just gonna get killed.
Yeah.
And
When
who
he
knows?
The
But
thing
when
is,
he-
you got to remember
man.
though, with the comics, like with Secret Invasion, a lot of people were Skrulls.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's
like,
right.
Yeah, I can hear him in his mind. Yeah,
Yep.
she fine too.
Um, but a lot of people were taken over and replaced with
Yeah.
Skrulls, but we
Yeah.
don't really have like as far as somebody who would have a big impact, especially after that restaurant scene,
Yeah.
who is a Skrull. We don't have Cap and Tony and and a Spider Woman and all these other
Mhm.
people that would be big names, big superheroes to be.
Yeah.
You find out, oh shit, that's not my friend, that's a Skrull.
Yeah.
Rhodey is the biggest one, at least in the cast that we know of that's on this show right now.
yeah.
That would, and you can't just have random, world leaders or something, but that nobody knows or has a connection to. That's the only ones replaced with Skrulls. So
It's
it makes sense
just like
to me
Civil
that Rhodey,
War. It's one of the disappointing things. Like they don't have that backlog of history to play with. Like Civil War was they
Yeah.
lost a little bit of Civil War's impact in the films because there wasn't hundreds of masked superheroes running around for the registration act to affect. Just like Secret Invasion doesn't have hundreds of superheroes running around where any of them could be Skrulls. But but at the same time though, I don't know if they would have the tease reveal for Rhodey being the Skrull be like his voice on the phone. Like that's always like I just figured it was just I wasn't sure that didn't seal the deal for me that that's what it is.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't think it's necessarily a character reveal about because again, they don't have a deep bench to pull from for this is who we're going to replace as a Skrull. So I think he would have been more of the obvious choice if you're going to do that. So that's why I think
Could
it's
be a
not so
misdirect.
much about him being a Skrull, but about maybe what he's going to do while this person is pretending to be him. That's going to be the shock, not the fact that it is Rhodey. I think they're letting us in on it early, so the audience knows something that the protagonists in the show don't. And we're like, oh fuck, don't trust him. He's just it's supposed to be that kind of experience for us rather than a shot. That's why I think they did that surprise early and get people talking about it. Then you find out he is later, but Sam Jackson doesn't find out for a while. And I think that's more what it is, because otherwise it's who else can you bring in and replace with a Skrull that's going to have that big of an impact?
All right, question for everybody: what powers you think we're gonna get? Because they for damn sure ain't gonna do the Fantastic Four. Super
Four.
Oh
stuff,
no.
So obviously they can't do that.
This is
which
why,
sucks.
yeah.
But
It's
but
Groot, a Frost Giant.
We know it's Groot, a Frost Giant. We know it's Cole Obsidian. We
Yeah.
also know it is the Alchemist from
The Alchemist,
Giant Iron Man 3. So
Now,
we know
was
it's that,
that-
but that's the only powers that they've shown.
Yeah.
so
it
far.
seemed like that was just they could have scrolled and they could have, not scrolled, but scrolled, and it could have been way more to select from. I wasn't certain that was all that was in the database.
Because as soon as he said Super Skrull, I'm like, damn, no Fantastic Four.
Well,
yet.
I think they'll try and mimic certain things that you would get with the Fantastic Four powers, like Obsidian, Cull Obsidian. That's going to be the Thing, right? That's going to be the big muscular arm kind of stuff like that. So I think I think they're going to try and try and stay within that, because like, well, Groot could also,
Like
I
Mr.
mean,
Fantastic.
that could be
Groot
like
could be long
like
arm,
extending
yeah.
the branches,
Mhm.
the arms stuff. So I think they're
Mhm.
gonna try and do stuff that kind of echoes the powers from the Fantastic Four, but
Mhm.
obviously they can't do that exactly because we
They're
don't
using
have
what they
the
got.
Fantastic Four yet.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
using
Mhm.
definitely because again, like we said, the flames from the alchemist would mimic, of course, Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
You
Yeah.
know the
Ain't that some
Groot.
shit? If we see like
Yeah,
like a great value Super Scroll with no Fantastic Four in like the near future, that's gonna be wild.
Wait,
That's
who
gonna
is
be
the
crazy.
flame for,
the alchemist
From the Alchemist.
from Iron Man 3. Remember,
Yeah.
it was
Oh, you
Extremis.
mean the
Extremis.
the
Extremis.
Extremis.
Yeah,
The Extremis. I'm
Oh,
sorry, the
Extremis.
Extremis.
You
The
mean,
Extremis.
okay,
Sorry
I
about
got you.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, like we're going to see the Extremist. His powers mimic Johnny Storm. Of course, Groot mimics Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Call Obsidian is just, I guess, the
The
thing.
thing. It's
Yeah.
just
Supposed
a
to
big
mimic the
yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Who was the other one?
Well,
The Frost
The
Giant.
extremist was that was in all them soldiers that he put it in all of them. So I
Yeah.
guess the
Yeah.
one
So
body they got still had it in and he took it, or
yeah.
was that the head of
Yeah, well,
AIM
the
that got
Extremis was like it could be injected. It could be like put
injected?
into
Yeah.
something. So
So
yeah,
they're
they could
definitely
easily have
using
gotten
that. And modifying those abilities. So again,
Yeah.
that's how we're going to actually see. And so far, the only one that you haven't seen the trailers for it, Benny, so I'm not going to kind of spoil that. But
Alright.
Trailers
there's
for
only
what?
the trailer to Secret Invasion. You didn't see the trailer for it yet, have you?
No.
Benny?
Like for the next episode.
No. I
Well, for
never watched.
any of the episodes, like
No,
he hasn't
I didn't
seen
watch.
now.
I didn't watch the overall trailer for the season or next week on.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Oh
good.
shit! Really be serious about that? Not watching the trailer shit, boy.
Dead serious.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a couple of things in there that kind of give you a hint as to how it's going to go.
Cool.
I don't
And-
even remember the trailers, to be
Mhm.
honest. Other than a couple of scenes that we've already had,
Yeah.
I don't even remember what was in the trailer for
Me
it.
neither.
Yeah.
to be honest
But that's
with
what I'm saying. Like, it's the way they're playing this so close to the point where, like, now you're questioning. I'm even questioning Nick. Like, you don't know who's who at this particular point. For all we know, the Nick that we're seeing could be a life model decoy. You have no
you.
idea.
Oh, LMD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
LMD.
there's so much, like somebody even said that they thought that he was playing the old man, like kind of too, like they might think that he's doing that, deliberately. And I think that, and again, he knows, he has to know that at that point. And here's the thing, and this is why I think that Rhodey could be a scroll, because during that dinner, he did call him Nick,
Oh yeah, nobody calls him Nick.
and
They're all
nobody
calling
calls him
Fury.
Nick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He
Yeah.
just, I think, of course, Nick is just playing as
Yeah.
if, whatever. So it is going to be interesting to see how it's going to be, man.
I think it is. He might be. I think he was kind of out of his Nick Fury shape. I think. But then I think he's probably back into it a little bit more now. He's maybe still just playing the possum kind of role. I don't think he's an LMD though, or anything like that, because if you do that, then it undercuts the emotion of like that scene with Maria Hill's mother, if it's like not actually him and and stuff like that. So I don't think it's an LMD situation. That's not to say LMDs can't be used at some
I know
point.
I'm
They've
not
been used
saying
in the
that
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but just not in this.
I'm not saying that even at that moment that it wasn't Nick. I'm just saying in certain instances
We
when
could
he
see him
might-
maybe do that, yeah.
Exactly. There could be
This-
one implemented just depending on the situation at that
Possible, yeah.
time. And I'm not willing to believe that, Gaia is dead. I don't, because again,
Yeah, we saw her turn into the scroll form, but at the same time, it's like
is she
She
playing
could do that on
possum?
her own.
Like, are
She
you
could do it.
like Amelia Clark is like you brought her in and she
Only
wasn't
to
like
kill
a
her off?
main like staple kind of Marvel character that we know.
Yeah.
She,
Mhm.
Gaia is in the books, but like not super heavy, and so to have her then be in that role, but then die in episode 3, like, yeah,
I dig it.
That I don't know. It just seems like weird to bring in an actress like her for that, and not to have like a bigger, like, I don't know.
Because they can
Mhm.
change like a blink. So I mean, she could just change just to throw him off.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been somebody else
posing as
looking
Gaia.
like
Oh, yeah,
Gaia's,
you're right.
human
That's
face,
true.
and so
Because we did see that in Captain Marvel as well. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? There was a
yeah.
lot
Well,
to
we
be.
also saw it in that scene with Gravik and
Yeah.
Talos, where they all turned into Gravik. So
Yeah. But
it's
the thing is,
possible it
it
wasn't
sort of
her.
like gave it away because when she became that old man and gave Talos the phone and ran around it, and in the next scene you saw her in the car or outside the car, it's sort of like, yeah, he would think that she was, kind of a spy or a traitor at that particular point, and just to see what her next move would be. So
Well,
Well, also, what if that was her? What if she stayed as the old man and she had a partner who then pretended to be
good
her
point. Good
and was
point.
in the car with him, and so
The-
that was never actually. So who knows?
Oh, Padme action. I, I don't know. It seemed like at the end, like she had no choice but to kind of blow her cover, and Gavik was always looking for a reason, anyways. But I'm not entirely opposed to the idea of bringing in, a big name star and then killing him off early for shock value if the actor or actress was already, cool with it if it served the plot, because obviously it drives Talos' story like much more now,
Tails
because
gonna flip the fuck out.
just an episode ago it was like, hey man, I just, you weren't here, so I had a party, and like we had a party on Earth and I invited all my friends, so what's the big deal, we had to go somewhere, and now he's like, oh fuck them, when he really didn't feel that way. Because think
Yeah.
about it, like he's only mad at Gavik, and like, but Gavik has all these soldiers and he didn't give a shit till now. So he needed a reason to have a Skrull help, because really, what could you possibly do against, a Skrull invasion? Nothing. Like there's no, there's not the Avengers really. Like Strange is somewhere else. There's not really anyone to help you identify them or
Mhm.
kill them. Like you can't really do anything about it.
So Strange is
Yeah,
still
true.
going with
Well,
what's
I
his
imagine
name?
he's not going to be a part of the show to, sniff out the Skrulls like he was in Secret Invasion comic book
Oh
story.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen on Wednesday. I definitely cannot wait to see. Everybody out there, if you like the show, if you're enjoying it so far, let us know in the comments below. Also, man, like I said, I mean, again, we're only what, 3 episodes left now. We only
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
3 episodes left, so
Only
3
definitely can't
episodes.
wait to see
Yeah.
what's going on. Pursuit of Awesomeness. Thank you for being there. He said hello, friends. Hello to you as well. Thank you for being here, my guy. But yeah, a lot going on, man. So yes, it's been a great show tonight. Thank you guys for actually coming through. Before we actually cut it short and leave out, Brendan, you said you got a couple polls comic recommendations. I hope none of them have ass cheeks on it. What's
shit.
up?
Well,
Censor
not on
them
the
if they
cover,
do.
but inside.
Yeah.
But
This guy,
so I've just spent the last couple of days catching up because I had like 2 weeks of my pull list
That
to
t-shirt's
catch up
dope.
on while I
Yeah,
was
that
out.
t-shirt is dope.
So yeah. So there were just a handful of really good ones. This one from Image has been talked about a lot. Void Rivals.
Nice.
This is Robert Kirkman, Invincible and Walking Dead created. This is actually it's in the new Energon universe. So they revealed that basically it's these new characters. This almost has like a Last Starfighter vibe to it. This issue, but the reveal, and they put it out, they publicized it, so this isn't a spoiler, but this is in a new shared universe with Transformers and G.I. Joe that is going to cross this line of books as well as new Transformers and G.I. Joe books coming out later this year. And they're actually going to build, so Robert Kirkman is basically building a universe with these new characters and those two IPs all in one.
Nice.
So it's a good read. It's definitely worth checking out. This one is obviously, you guys know him, the Daredevil fan and Daredevil and Echo, and so this is the main cover by Phil Noto, and then the variant by David Mack, and I fucking love this color, this cover.
That is dope.
And so this is issue number 2. So damn good. This miniseries is awesome. Definitely worth reading. And then the penultimate issue. That means second to last, and we only have one more left from Marco Cicchetto, the artist, and Chip Zdarsky. But this is Daredevil number 13, number 14. Their last one comes out next month.
Nice.
And that's basically like they basically said that this is kind of like the end of their arc, and then the 14th issue is like their epilogue. This was really, really good, so definitely read that. Jed McKay is crushing it, and his Doctor Strange run has been really, really good. This is fucking A. That horrible wedding episode of She-Hulk. This is what you're supposed to do when you're going to do a wedding, right? And this had every chance of being campy and trope filled and shitty, and it turned into such a good read. Funny, really well paced, but like good story. So this current Doctor Strange run is fucking awesome. Lil, this is the one with the ass cheeks, although not really on the cover. But James Tynan's World Tree, issue number 3. This is so fucking good.
I have the first 2, man.
It's so good. Definitely check this one out. This one is another one from Image, but James Tynan, who's done like Something Is Killing the Children. He did a great Batman run, House of Slaughter, Department of Truth. Like, if you want a good, creepy, like tech slasher, like this, definitely got to check that out.
World cheeks.
They're on the inside. There's a lot of nudity in this book. I'm just
World
letting you
cheeks.
titties too. They're just out, just floppy.
Cheeks up.
Then you've got
titties and cheeks.
Makes the world go around.
Makes the world go around,
right?
man.
And then you got Green Arrow number 3. This has been you got Peacemaker making an appearance in this, and Peace Wrecker, this other character. Yeah, Jason, I'm telling you know what?
You had me to a Peacemaker, bro.
Dude, I'm telling, but it's Peacemaker the way he's supposed to be in the comics. It's fucking
you
good.
fucked me up, but you had me going.
This Green Arrow one, I'm telling you, this one is fun. The art is good. The art's on point. Good balance of humor, action, mystery. Like, this Green Arrow run is proven to be very good. And I'm not reading all of the new like DC, like Dawn of DC titles, but that one definitely has me hooked. Another one, Scott Snyder, doing an awesome book. This is Barnstormers. This is actually, it's already finished, but they just started doing it physically because this was a Comixology exclusive, set in like 1923. Amazing art, really cool story. I won't give anything away, but period piece, awesome.
Okay.
And then the last 2, we've got The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, number 4. This is the cover C, so it's not the main cover. If you like The Last Ronin, this does a great job of just adding layers and depth to that and fleshing it out so much. It's both like a prequel and a sequel to that at the same time. So fucking good. One of my favorite books every month by far. And then last one is Edge of Spider-Verse number 4. You don't need to read any of the others. It's basically like these Edge of Spider-Verse ones are anthologies. It's like 2 or 3 shorter stories in each one, so you don't have to read like the previous issue. But this is Dream Spider, and this is the character that they created in the Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man miniseries that I've raved about. Ben, B. Earl, and Taboo of the Black Eyed Peas. They wrote this one just like they wrote that miniseries. Really cool first solo story for her. I've been talking to Ben a fair amount, and he said that they have actually already shared ideas that they have with CB, the editor-in-chief at Marvel, about a longer series that they could do with her. And so they have their fingers crossed that CB will greenlight that and that we'll actually get one. He also, he knows I'm a Celtics fan, so I thought it was funny. Even in this, there's a specific reference to them choosing the colors because it's the Lakers colors, the purple and yellow. But it's a really cool character, really good book. And so I'm super, I was really, really looking forward to this because I want her to be in the main continuity and really get some good storytelling. And like I said, Ben B. Earl, he's super nice dude. I've been talking to a bunch lately, and he has actually agreed to, along with some other creators and like Marvel and Dark Horse and stuff, to be part of the docuseries that I'm going to spend the next year working on. So I'm going to be interviewing him as well as tons of other artists, creators, writers, content creators, YouTubers, stuff like that, for this docuseries I'm going to do over the next year. I'm actually going to be filming at a signing with Larry Stroman this weekend, who is an artist who's done stuff for X Factor, for Black Panther, and he also did some variant cover work for Bitter Root. So I'm going to get to meet and film some stuff with him on Saturday. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Nice.
Definitely shout out.
Nice.
And also Pursuit of Awesomeness, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Every Doctor Strange run is awesome. Definitely, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, man, thank you very much for that, bro. For the comic pulls. Definitely, man. Shout out to that. Vinny, man, what you got coming up, bro? What you got going on, bro?
Man, just got a lot of projects with my main job coming up, and then I have just like a list. It keeps growing of art projects that I need to get to, and a ton of reading that I got to catch up on. So I'm looking forward to this bulk of the heavy part of the season, and then I can get back to that's what I need. I need some scrolls to go to work for me so I can catch up on fun shit. So that's what I need. So yeah, I'm with it. Secret Room Invasion coming
Secret
to
Room. Secret
No
Room.
doubt.
Could you imagine?
Secret Room Invasion coming to Disney Plus and Thrust.
That's it.
Ah,
That's it.
straight up, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely
Other than that,
appreciate
just
it, bro.
same old. Looking forward to checking out episode 4 here and seeing what else they got coming in the store. I'm enjoying the show so far. So
Definitely,
looking
bro.
forward to the next artist picks and all that good stuff. So yeah, man.
Shout out, bro. Definitely, man. Thank you for that. If you haven't already, follow Vinny Vincent Dunn Art on Instagram. Also, The Collector Without Fear on Instagram. Baby Powder Smack. What's going on with you, brother? What you got going on, man?
Work, and I pick up my box tomorrow from my boy's shop. I got like 40 books I got to pick up tomorrow. I have I finally got in Rogue. I love her. She's awesome.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
Nice.
that thing is
Nice,
so
bro.
dope.
Yep.
Man. Crosshair
Nice,
came
bro.
in. Moon Knight should be here tomorrow. And
Figure of the year.
dude, I can't wait to get out of the box. And then what is it? The classic War Machine should be here tomorrow too.
Oh, okay.
Can't wait, bro.
Okay.
Can't wait. Other than that,
Word.
I'm cooling, bro. I'm cooling. I'll be on Figure Face Friday, dropping off pictures.
Definitely, bro. So what I actually, yeah, man. I definitely can't wait for that. And I know you're gonna be dropping off pictures, bro. We can always anticipate it. Like,
Dude, that
that's just how-
Crosshair is a dope figure.
yeah. Mine, it doesn't ship until this Friday because I got it through Ray.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to ship this Friday. Tomorrow I get Finnegan, so my Finnegan arrives tomorrow.
Oh damn.
My Finnegan
That's
arrives
a lot.
tomorrow, and my Casca goes out tomorrow. So
Nice.
yeah.
There's
it's
some
like
more
that.
Star Wars hotness that will be dropping very soon as well.
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
from
sir.
what we know, definitely is going to be some things we popping off, man. So
Mhm.
again, bro, thank you for being here, man. So what's going on next for me? Let's see here. We have Say What Wednesday, of course, followed by Uncivilized Scoundrels, I think on Thursday, I believe. Then we're going to also have again
Pedicure.
Figure Flex Friday, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
And then also I'm going to be actually featuring it's going to be a short that's going to be running each week. I think Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. It's a short. It is actually titled that I fixed it up. I kind of changed it from earlier.
Toe time.
But it's called Fastball Special. It's basically
Nice.
questions that you can actually answer in 30 seconds. So you only have between
Nice.
30 and 60 seconds to basically answer questions. It's going to be listed as a short, so it's not going to be a full-fledged show. It's going to be content creators. It's going to be, collectors. Everyone gets a chance to basically come on, answer a question. We'll film it, we'll record it, and we'll just put it out as a short. So it's called Fastball Special. I did change this. It's going to have Colossus's arm instead of this arm. So definitely. But yeah, that's coming up, man. A couple videos that's going to be popping off. But yeah, it's just busy week for me, man. So yeah, that's what's going on with
There you
us.
go.
You guys out there, thank you for actually tuning in today's show. It's been a blast. It's been fun. We will be back next week, same time, same channel as always. But anyway, you guys have a nice evening, a nice morning, that is, and we will see you guys next week. We out. Peace.